Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and I'm always on radio.com. Well, it's always an effort of mine to make the parodies as topical and timely as possible. In an ideal world, all the parodies would be fresh and relatively new when the album comes out. That's not always easy to achieve. As you mentioned, some of my older albums, some of the parodies included were, 2 years old and sometimes even older. In fact, that's one of the reasons why this is probably my last conventional album. It's the end of my record contract, and going forward, I think it makes more sense for me to just release singles whenever it's appropriate, not wait till I have 12 songs and put them all out, because then chances are some of those will not feel as fresh as others. But yeah, I got kind of lucky this time. All of the parody targets are, I think, less than a year old. And in fact, my Iggy Azalea parody is timed pretty well, because her song is still #1 on the charts the same week my album comes out. I like to needle Prince every now and then, just because he's like the one guy that's always said no, and never has given a reason. I don't know why. And he's just, I hate to keep picking on him after all this time, but it's just so fun. I got a telegram from Prince's office, and this was in the 80s. It was for the American Music Awards. And apparently I was going to be sitting in the same row as Prince, and we got a telegram asking that I not establish eye contact with Prince during the course of the show. Which, okay, I can get that. I understand. You don't want to be looked at. That's fine. And I sent a telegram to him immediately saying, yes, I don't want Prince to be looking at me either. It goes both ways, buddy. I wrote Word Crimes like a year ago. So I didn't know that his new album wouldn't perform up to expectations. I didn't know about his problems with his estranged wife. I mean, that had nothing to do with it. It was purely based on his hit Song of the Summer last year. And, I wish him the best. But I just thought it'd be fun to do a parody of Blurred Lines, because, and the way that I did it, because a lot of the parodies that came out on YouTube revolved around his original song being misogynistic and maybe a little rapey. And I wanted to go the whole opposite direction and change it from a song that was offending a lot of people to a song that could ostensibly be part of a school curriculum. Make it an educational song about grammar. I think my grammar nerd credentials are well established with my YouTube videos. So yeah, it's something that's been rattling around in my brain for a while. And when I came upon the idea for Word Crimes, I thought, well, finally I can write the grammar nerd song that I've always wanted to do. I'm known for my videos. I enjoy making the videos. I think they're great for the marketing of the song and the album. I think videos are more important now than ever. There was a brief period of time after MTV stopped being music television and before the advent of YouTube where it didn't make as much sense, because, videos were expensive, and if there wasn't any place to see them, why bother making them? But now that, YouTube and places like that are, so popular, music video is a big part of marketing music. I've managed to, with this album, go around the record label and make videos with high production values by partnering with Funny or Die and College Humor and Nerdist and people in places like that. I wanted to do a celebrity-laden video, much like Pharrell did with Happy. So I just went through my address book. I just went down the list, and Jack Black was my first call, because I just knew that he would knock it out of the park, because he's got such energy, and he's a crazy, wild man, and I had to have him in the video, so he was the first one. And we found the one day in his schedule he could do it, and then we based everything else around that. So, and then I called, Eric Stonestreet, and Aisha Tyler, Kristen Schaal, Margaret Cho, and they were all on board, and man, that was a fun shoot. I think it's probably the most fun I've ever had on a video set. A lot of my songs are like that, where you kind of don't know where I personally stand on something. You could take it at face value, or you could take it ironically. So I like to think that this is the kind of song that sports fans would love, and people who hate sports would love. Because it's just a fun song. You can read whatever into it that you want. I was reading a review yesterday morning where the writer was saying that it's more important for it to be timely than good, which I don't think I agree with, but I mean, there is a kernel of truth in that. I mean, people just want it right away and right now, and if it's like a day after they wanted it, like, why are you telling me this now? So yeah, in order for me to be competitive with everybody else on YouTube, I'm gonna need to, get my stuff out there as soon as humanly possible.